School buffs.
As y'all come on in, hit that like button, man. My little small channel doing little small things. DNA game, man. You already know how we doing it, man. Listen, if you still interested in college football, I know a lot of y'all probably put the game down because y'all ass, y'all not play Dynasty mode, y'all can't get it together, can't win some games, so you quit. But the ones that are diehards and locked in been playing since the game came out, and we will be playing till the next game come out. And then when the next game come out, we gonna lock in and do it again. And right now, the best league around is Double R, Real Recruit League. When you take a look at the list of all Americans on this list, you're going to see a whole lot of real life players' names sitting on here. That's one unique thing we do in my Double R League, right? The Real Recruit League, where we bring real life high school players, transfers, all that good shit. The real life players, we take and make those guys who they are, match them up to what they did in high school and how they going to project in the college football landscape. We are in 2031 right now, and I'm looking at the All-America's first team right now. Now, first and foremost, we're going to take a look at the number one quarterback. The All-American starting quarterback is Marshall Manning, number 16 for Colorado Buffaloes. Quick story. Marshall Manning, yes, the son of Peyton Manning. He is part of that, the royal family of the Mannings. His father, Marshall Manning, his father, Peyton Manning, is the offensive coordinator for the Colorado Buffaloes. However, this is his last year, as well as his son's last year, coaching the Buffaloes, because Peyton has took the head coaching job in our reality world, our virtual reality world of football. He's going to be the new head coach for the Indianapolis Colts on our Madden 25 game. So he's taking over the coach job, which is going to take Marshall Faulk, another Gold Jacket, and a teammate of Peyton Manning, who's our running back coach right now. It's going to take him to the offensive coordinator job for Coach Deion Sanders prime time. So if you're following me and you got a little imaginary mind, and you can understand how we can bring college football, the game, the video game, and bring it to give you a real life feel on it, then you're following and watching the right channel right now. With that being said, Mason James, storyline of Mason James is, you all know who LaMichael James was for the Oregon Ducks. If you are an Oregon Ducks fan and you're following, hit that like button, man. And you know LaMichael James was one of the best running backs when Oregon started popping. He was one of the best running backs to come out of that program. And LaMichael James was the dog, right? He went to the 49ers. Didn't really have a good NFL career, but in that Chip Kelly offense that went crazy when Chip Kelly took that Oregon job, and had Oregon popping for all those years he was there. Michael James was one of the front runners of that football team. Well, his son Mason James is doing it well for the Oregon Ducks. Now he's the number one running back. First year starting though, he's been there as a true freshman, true sophomore. Didn't get any touches. He was behind some big time studs that left their mark on college football before they entered the NFL. But Mason James is his turn right now, and he got his team undefeated, and they're doing big things. They're looking for the drive for 5. The Oregon Ducks has dominated the Double R League. They've been in 7 straight national title games, winning 4 out of 7. They won the last 4. They're on a 4-game national championship winning streak right now. And Mason James is the lead player of that football team. He's the number 1 running back. The number 2 running back comes from the University of Miami, Jaron Tanley, coach. Ran over there, the guru coaching that Miami team, brought the U back. That's one of his slogans. The U is back, right? You're looking at the early mid 80s, early 90s Miami University football team, and then the early 2000s when they were just on runs where everybody went to the NFL from Miami, and they had big time teams playing for big time games, playing in big time games. Remember the Miami University team with the Big East back then, where they were going to championships every year. This wide receiver class, not just the class, but just this wide receiver group in this 2031 season is tremendous. I mean, there's studs all over the place, and that's led by the Heisman Trophy winner, Taven Troop. This guy has won kick returner of the year 3 straight years. Lost it this year to Ted Ginn, the third Ted Ginn's son, but he lost it this year, but he still won the Heisman. He's the all-time receiving leader in college football, Taven Troop. And he's number 2. He's the number 1 receiver. Corey Sadler Jr., right, the two-way player, the athlete, number 8 athlete in the country in the 2026 class. Corey has been outstanding following in Travis Hunter's suit, but like one thing we would say, most people thought Travis Hunter was a better DB than a wide receiver coming into college. Was the flip side for Corey Sadler. He's more of a wide receiver than a DB, but he's still one of the best DBs in college football in the little time that he does play. He does play both sides of the ball, but he will continue his career as a wide receiver in the NFL, and arguably he could be the number 1 receiver taken off the board. Corey has had a tremendous 4 years at Colorado, right? He's only known his roommate, Marshall Manning, has been the only quarterback to throw him a pass since freshman year, and they're now in their senior year doing it big right now. Corey does hold the record for the most receptions in college football, and he also holds the record for the most receiving touchdowns in college football. However, Taven Truth is sitting right behind him, and every game they play, they go back and forth. The number 3 All-American wide receiver is Chad Lowell from Penn State. He's a junior, true junior, right? Deep threat, 5'10", 197, Polka, Florida. You know that Florida speed is serious right now, but Chad Lowell, he's All-American number 3 at the receiver position. Our number 1 tight end right now is Luis Cortez. One thing about Oregon, the Oregon Ducks do a good job at that tight end position. They always have some guy winning this award, and not only that, going high in the draft as well. In that King Falky scheme, the tight end plays a vital role in what they do over there. And Luis Cortez is a long line of tight ends winning the best tight end award for the Oregon Ducks. He's just in a long line of guys winning it every year, right? That's Oregon Ducks award when it comes down to tight end award. Mitchell Goodman, look him up, 2026. He's one of those left tackles. He played left tackle, but he's actually starting right tackle for us right now. But he is the number 1 offensive lineman when it comes down to first team All-American national. He's Mitchell Goodman. He's a switch hitter, man. No diddy. He could play right or left tackle for us at any moment. And he showed his versatility for the last 2 seasons for the Colorado Buffaloes. How about C.J. Welsh? Now, Miami, I would say Miami and North Carolina, when you come down to offensive linemen, they have the best offensive lines in the country. I think it goes 1 and 2 when it comes to North Carolina and Miami. C.J. Welsh is one of the forefronts of that. He's a senior and playing in his last season. And tonight, when he plays the Colorado Buffaloes, it can be his last game if they lose, and he'll continue to play if they win. But C.J. Welsh, man, 6'5", 306 pounds out of Port Orange, Florida. All right, he's a platinum player too, man. Dog. As you can see, 96 overall. One of the leaders of this team. He's definitely one of their top players with the star underneath him doing big things. The number 1 center, Ezekiel Barron for Georgia. Redshirt sophomore, Ezekiel Barron, made first team All-American as a redshirt sophomore. And then there's JoJo Jones Israel, right? One of the Israel brothers. Look, a couple of years ago, Anthony Israel was the running back for the Colorado Buffaloes. And in 3 short seasons, that man had every record known to man in running back room. But then Savion Hitter from Miami, and then you're looking at the kid Javi Osborne from Oregon that ended up taking those records down. We'll talk about that in a second, but he is the right guard. Timmy Fields from Texas, 78. Most of these guys that are All-American played in the playoffs. Some of them are still playing. Some of them are done already. But Deion Dawsey came in as a freshman. I think this kid won a Heisman one year. His teammate, Chad Spears. Both of them are juniors. One is a true junior, one is a redshirt junior. Both of them are draft eligible. But when you're playing Miami University, you know they got a left and right defensive end that always has double-digit sacks and are hell in the run game as well, coming around that corner. So it's going to be lights out when the way they play, right? Cameron Ream, the D tackle, the Ream brothers. There's another Ream on the Ohio State football team. Redshirt sophomore. Both of them came in as sophomore in the same class. Cameron Ream has stepped up at 6'5" to 340 pounds, man. You're not moving. From Buford High School, Buford, Georgia. One of them big-time players from out of the state of Georgia balling. Buddha Israel, right? JoJo Jones' cousin, sitting at D tackle. He's been an elite 5-star starting in his third season right now for Colorado Buffaloes. If he get it going, they're hard to do anything against when he's holding the middle down right now. Tony Hammer, I'm sorry, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is one of the Final Four teams in the playoffs. And Tony Hammer, 6'2", 232-pound pass rusher. He's playing outside linebacker, but he's more of a hand in the dirt guy. You start looking at what he has as far as his physicals, road dog, mental, team player, and the natural. So he's really good in the bad weather games. He can play multiple positions. He could be an edge rusher, put his hand in the dirt, or a stand-up linebacker. So he could succeed in any system, a 3-4 front or a 4-3 front. He's there to be there. The rest platinum, quick jump silver, pocket disruptor platinum, and takedown platinum. He's a dog. Middle linebacker Paris Bullock. There's some really good linebackers in the country, but Paris Bullock has been the most consistent middle linebacker in college football, right? Like, he's that guy. Like, this guy might have a first round grade, talking about mid first round to the end of the first round. Paris Bullock, senior, right? 6'3", 245, got the right size for it. 3 mentals, and he got 5 physicals, aftershock, wrap up, inside disruptor, gold hammer, and platinum grip breaker, so you're not blocking. Alabama's Dwayne Irwin, senior power rusher. He kind of has the same skill sets as Tony Hammer, but Alabama just finished up their football season losing to the University of Miami 42-35 in a barn burner. Jason Burnett at cornerback, senior. He made first team, and really, how? Like, that's an argument right now. We know we got that kid, Dash, right? We know what Brandon Arrington Jr. can do for the Colorado Buffaloes, but this kid, Jason Burnett, man, over the overall and how he been playing, you're looking at the number 1 corner and All-American wise, and Juan Golston, probably the best slot corner in college football. The kid guy can play safety, linebacker. Like, he can literally play anything. Like, he plays their joker position for Miami. He does a really good job. One thing Miami do is when they identify that joker position, they get the right guy to do it. He gives them everything, right? He can play really well against the run. He can play in the box as he's a 4th or 5th linebacker at times. He does a really good job covering slot receivers. And he can, if they want to send him in the blitz package, he does a really good job getting to the quarterback in blitz packages. He's an all-around slot corner, right? Will he play corner in the NFL? I don't know. I think they'll move him to safety when it comes down to it. But will he be an in-the-box safety or an off-ball safety? Like, who knows, right? But I do see him playing a little bit of everything. Like, he go to the right team, and they use him the way Miami has used him. He can be an all-pro player at the pro level, in my opinion. Frank Reed, free safety, Tennessee, 96 overall, ball hawk, house call, robber, knockout. It does it all for them. 5'11", 215. Just lost their game last night to the Colorado Buffaloes. Big time game. They almost came back in that game, but they ended up losing that thing 49 to 35, I think it was. 21. Darryl Mills, strong safety. Redshirt sophomore. This kid has the opportunity to go to the league if he wants to, but he also has the opportunity to come back. And if he comes back, he's going to man a really good secondary in the University of Miami. Samai, and then James Remigio is the punters and kickers. All right, let's go second team real fast. All right, Buck McClelland, right? Buck McClelland made a statement in a playoff game not too long ago where, you know, the conversation around him was, yes, you won a national title. Yes, you are the quarterback for the Oregon Ducks, but are you a game changer or a game manager? So you've been showing it right now. Dakota Tune is running back number 2. You got Penn State's Teller Durant. Deion Thomas, wide receiver for Oregon, sitting at number 1 receiver, second team. Sincerely yours, transferred in from Campbell. Monster, 6'5". This kid has that 4.3 speed. 2,000-yard receiver right now in the same season where Corey Sadler Jr. went for 3,000 yards. This is Marshall Manning's second favorite target. And for them to be successful in their playoff game tonight is going to have to be some Sincere Brown shit going on, man. He could do everything from, like, at 6'5", he played like he 5'11". But then when you need him to get big, he plays 6'5". Jaquise Sandland, dog. This guy been a 2,000-yard receiver, and if he was on any other team but the team he's on, he's the number 1 receiver on that football team. 6'5", 225, got that T.O. type body or that Calvin Johnson type build, right? And can do everything. Go deep, right? He's their guy when when they need to get into route running and uh, possession catching. He does one of the better jobs of that for this football team. Jeremiah Garrison, the tight end for Alabama, junior, a dog. He's going to be one of the top tight ends picked when it comes down to who's going to be the top 5 tight ends coming into the 2031 draft class. He'll be in that top 5. Left tackle from Georgia, Miles Thews. Melvin Torrance, left guard for Tennessee. Alex Yeast, center, second team center for Miami. Then there's the North Carolina run. Teron Gore, Luther Lacumba, senior. They're going to be losing some guys up front. All right, Charles Braverman, Oklahoma, left end, senior, power rusher. Off the edge he goes. How about my boy 88 and out to Jake Cool, IMG Academy, one of the better edge rushers in the 2026 class. Jake Cool doing his thing for Colorado, looking to take the record book down with sacks. He come back. He's talked about coming back for his senior year for Colorado, so we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, he's one of the best. Like, he dominated that Tennessee game last night. If you haven't seen it, go to my YouTube channel, Matt and Franchise Junkies, and take a look at the series, the Book of Manning series. Last night in the playoff game against Tennessee in the All-State Sugar Bowl, Jake Cool dominated that game, man. They couldn't block him. They had to put double teams on him. Not even that. They had to chip the running back, which kept their running back out of the passing game because they had to keep him in on the same side as Jake Cool to be able to stop 88 and out to Jake. He was going crazy last night. Fabian Willingham, big-time D tackle. I do think he could arguably be the number 1 tackle off the board. Benjamin Fouts, North Carolina's D tackle. He's a dog as well. 6'7", 345. How about Urlacher Jr. for Colorado, making second team as a senior? Andy Katzenmoyer, the second from Ohio State's great Andy Katzenmoyer. Y'all remember who that was? He's a senior as well, second team All-American. Santiago Hammer, TCU. He was their best defensive player on their team besides Willingham. I thought Santiago Hammer was that guy. How about Juan Vilma for Notre Dame, cornerback 1, Cam Coon, Florida State, Aaron Bradshaw. A lot of y'all probably don't pay attention to high school football enough when you're looking at recruiting. And he'll be a Colorado Buffalo. Just trust me when I'm saying he will be a Colorado Buffalo. Quentin Gibson, if you remember Quentin Gibson, Q for 6. If you're a Colorado fan, you know Colorado picked him up in the 2025 class, one of the best receivers in Texas. Won National Player of the Year. But Aaron Bradshaw is on his team. Number 8 plays safety for them. He's a dog. Colorado picked him up in our league, Double R, and got his ass. We put the full court press on him. He decided to come. He's a junior, one of the best safeties in the country. Reese Brenner transferred or went to Ohio State for his senior year. He will be in the NFL when it's all said and done. Barry Aruna and Gordon Draft. Starting their freshman All-Americans, Keelan Russell played a hell of a game last night in a losing effort to the Miami University Hurricanes. But here go to Kaylon Teller, track hawk, man. This is the guy. Keep your eyelids wide open when you watch this kid. He's not the starting running back for Colorado. He's number 2 back. He is a 1,000-yard rusher as a true freshman. Right now, that's his storyline in our league. But in real life, he's coming from Incarnate Word. He's a transfer. One of Marshall Faulk's first pickups in the portal. One of his first recruits that he brought in himself. I'm expecting big things out of him. If you go watch anything about this kid, he is electric, and don't let that size fool you. He can play in between the tackles as well, but he can do it all. Special teams, out the backfield as a receiver, and he can get you those tough yards if needed. He says he's a tough running back, and I think a lot of guys that are Colorado fans are sleeping on him. And you're sleeping on him because he came from our Incarnate Word. Like, we ain't have Travis Hunter, like we ain't have Cam Silliman Craig, like Shador Sanders and Silo Sanders. They didn't come from HBCU and show that they can get it done. I think Trackhawk going to do some things nobody's expecting him to do. I think he's going to be a 10-time better Dylan Edwards. And Dylan Edwards is still one of my favorite players, even though he left him with the Kansas State. But I think Trackhawk, the Kaylon Teller, is a better Dylan Edwards. Running back Steve Beach. This is one of them situations we couldn't name him a real life player because ain't too many white boy running backs coming out of college, out of high school that's like that right now. But Steve Beach was one of them. So there you go. Martin Sams, Georgia, he'll be back to play. Joey Buffalo for Rice, wide receiver Julius Culliver, Alabama, Mitch Gums, tight end, right? Cameron Biggums, Oklahoma's right left tackle, Brett Coolidge, yes sir, the elite IMG Academy from Colorado, the state of Colorado, right? Look, you got him. We got to better find a way to win this battle right here. He's being heavily recruited by everybody, and Matt McChesney, 060 is pretty much, I ain't gonna say in control of him, but he's his spokesperson, and Matt be up and down, so you don't know how he's feeling. He can't stand the Colorado fans that came when Dion came as the head coach. He can't stand those guys. Those guys can't stand his ass. And Brett Coolidge is one of his little proteges. So I think if we want him, we better show some love, man. Simple as that. But we got him on the game, though. Brett Coolidge gonna be there for a couple more years. Dog. Andre Ezigbo, Alabama. Center, James Myers. Georgia, right tackle, JoJo Barrington. He a dog. This kid is, and he played too right now. Freddie Willis, left end. Freddie Willis is an elite left end as well, man. We was going after him. We was recruiting, so we know all about this guy. Oh man, he didn't play right away for Oregon as a redshirt freshman. He started playing halfway through the season and got into his bag and started playing good football. How about D'Amato Pecco Jr., right? His dad is our D line coach, and we got both the sons, the junior and the little brother Joseph. But Nick England, D tackle, redshirt freshman, and then Tobias West is a true freshman, D tackle for the Ohio State Buckeyes, right out of Toledo, Ohio, 6'3", 345, and animal. Sean Henning, dog, elite as well, 4-star elite for Oregon. You got some young guys coming up right now from Portland, Oregon, and stayed right in the state of Oregon and stayed there for that Nike money. Then there's a Miami runoff, middle linebacker Stan Spencer, right outside linebacker Mike Ramsauer. Then you're looking at Matthias Stith, Romeo Ivy, and then Coffee Camelo, all Miami players. Like, so if you're looking at freshman All-Americans and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know where the program at. 6, 7 on this board. So you know where the well, you better send me a comment on group me so you can get in there and get your team selected and shit.
Best believe this shit.
Send me a group me so I can add you to the chat. All right, young Anthony Ajabo. We also recruited this guy too. He's from Oregon. Oregon was missing out on some big time players. This kid is elite too. And he right now on that Ohio State roster, and that's hard to say, he's one of the best defensive players they got right now, and he'll be back. He's a true freshman, so he'll be back for his sophomore year. Kicker Mike Proctor and Cam Hillis from Miami, freshman punter. Nah, I got you, Corey. I'm adding you right now.
Bet my nigga.
All right, you add it. $10 fee, Cash App, so you can get in that order. If you look in the chat, you'll see the who paid and all that, what number you'll be at team selection. All right, that's freshman All-Americans. We ain't gonna go. I mean, I could spend time in the ACC, but it's going. Nah, we don't need to do all that. This is about the Final Four right now. Let's go look at the bracket for a second and just see how things played out right now, man. All right, so as you see, the first round was taken care of. Miami blew out North Texas 83-23. I mean, Group of 5 trying to take on one of the best teams in college football. Nah. Send it to my shit, bro. Hold on. Don't send it to there. Hold on. Where that shit at? I'm coming to. Copy. My nigga Corey back. That's what's up. You got it? All right. I sent it to you anyway, but got you. All right. So Tennessee and Ohio State was one of the best games of the first round, man. Not even one of the best. It was the best game of the first round. Coach Boone is back. He actually took on Coach Corey's team. This was Coach Corey's team, Tennessee. Boone took that team and put it back in good hands after a 3-season layoff. Boone comes back, take them right to the playoffs and get them to the quarterfinals. 38-36 and a 2-point win in Ohio State at the Horseshoe, which is hard to do, right? Winning in Ohio State. It is not easy to win in Ohio State, buddy. And they went there and they did exactly that. Got you. All right, so 38-36, Ohio State moves on. Tennessee moves on to the quarterfinals. Cincinnati and Texas take on. Texas beat Cincinnati 31-23. And then Georgia and Oklahoma played a half, right? Georgia and Oklahoma 35-14. Georgia conceded in that ball game where Oklahoma moved on to the quarterfinals. And then the games were played. Oregon, listen, they got the drive for 5. That's their slogan this year. They're trying to win 5 straight. And to start off, Texas had the opportunity to take them out. Big time game. Oregon does a good job in the Rose Bowl, and they kind of dominate that football game. When you go look at the stat line of this game, you saw some big football being played. Let's look at player stats. McClellan, to me, I think he showed he could be a game changer and not just a game manager in this game. He was 259 passes yards, threw 2 picks, but 4 touchdowns, was only sacked once, 22 for 31, 70%. He had a hell of a day, honestly. And then there's the guy, right? I know folks talking shit about me and my carries last. I had 6 running backs total 6 people running the ball yesterday. We gave Tennessee 35 carries. He doing that with 1 player. And then want to be talking about butt balling, right? 26 carries from Lil Mason James, 5'10", 195. A lot of guys think because he's 195 pounds, he can't play in between the tackles, but he do a good job of it, and his yard per carry shows you that. 7.73 touchdowns. He had 3 broken tackles as well. Longest run of the day was 29. He had 3 runs over 20 yards in this ball game. He did his thing in this ball game, right? Then you look at the receiving game, James out the backfield, so we know who their best player was in that quarterfinals game. 4 catches, 97 yards. He scored 2 touchdowns, and in the same game, so he gave them 5 touchdowns. He's been averaging somewhere between 5. He scored 7 in the big game against Penn State. So you know this guy can make plays for him. But then there's that tight end, 6 for 61. 1 touchdown. And then Zion Robinson stood out along with Dion. Zion had a touchdown, but Dion caught 7 passes, 32 yards, 4.6. Now, nowhere near his average, but they did what they had to do to win the football game, right? And one thing I will say Oregon has been really, really good at defensively is where they at. You see they held them to 10 points, right? They only had 2 sacks in that game, but in that secondary, when you come out with 3, 4, 5 interceptions, you're going to win football games. Simple as that. Oregon moves on, waiting for their opponent in the semifinals. And then you take a look at the Oklahoma and North Carolina. This was a fair sim game. And Max, Jada, shoot, better team going to win in the sim, so they didn't get to play it. But Oklahoma gets to the semifinals on a fair sim. Then there was the Miami University versus Alabama University, the big game. And this game was a rematch for a couple seasons ago because the last time Miami played Alabama, Alabama knocked them out of the playoffs. Miami wanted their get back right now. But the story I'm going to talk about, right, Keelan Russell, you're going to see the 5 interceptions, right? And you're going to say he threw 5 picks. And usually when you whoever throw the most picks in a well-balanced game is going to lose that game. Simple as that, right? But Keelan Russell, right? We all know, if you don't know who he is, he's the 5-star in the 2025 class from out of Duncanville, Texas, right? Dog. And as a redshirt freshman, this is his first year as a starting quarterback for Alabama, and they got a future because they got a quarterback, and it's that simple. And to me, 339 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 picks. You ain't going to ignore the picks because that's why they lost the game, but you see the upside with this quarterback, right? When a lot of guys are playing veterans at quarterback right now, Alabama comes back next season with probably the best quarterback in football. Let's just call it what it is. But this story was about Miami, right? Hoodies and goggles, 170 QBR, 252 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 3 INTs. Was only sacked once, 14 for 23, 60%. And Tanley went for 19 carries, 133 yards and a touchdown in this ball game. He had 68 yards out of their receiver running back. and their power back kicked in with for 8.3, 33 yards. So you see that they couldn't really stop the run. They scored 3 touchdowns just running the football. Their fullback had 2 touchdowns in this ball game. When it came down to it, Miami was able to line up and give you power football like they gave it to you. Zappy had 3 catches, 96 yards. Sandland 2 for 69. Tanley out the backfield, 2 catches, 25 yards. Troop 3 catches, 23 yards. He hasn't had a big game uh, since the last regular season game. Like the guy, and rightfully so, right? Because what's happening is we know who the Heisman Trophy is. Everybody you play know this is the guy. So they want to do their best to keep him, keep him occupied and make other people beat you. Now the positive to that is Miami is still beating guys with other players, right? So they're showing you their depth of their depth chart, and they're showing you their comfortability with the other players on their football team. Because in the last 3 games, outside of the first round of the playoffs and playing a group of 5 school, Troop in his last 3 user games has been non-existent, and Miami has still found a way to win those ball games. Boykins caught 2 touchdowns, and Evan Lake. I realized who Evan Lake was in the North Carolina game, the ACC championship, where Troop didn't have the catch. They shut him out the game. Evan Lake stepped up in that ball game. They almost got them to win. But Miami knows they can do enough on offense because look what's going to happen on defense, right? You got Moses Irvin coming from the free safety spot with 11 tackles. We just talked about Juan Golston, the best slot corner in football right now. Look what he did, 11 tackles in that ball game. So he gives them an extra, extra tackler in the box because that's what he does, right? Dawsey had a half a sack and Spears had a half a sack, so that means they raced to the quarterback and got to him at the same time. And as far as INTs, you're looking at Mills, Eason, the linebacker had 2 picks. You also has Kamala, the free rookie, freshman safety. He had a pick in that game too, right? So you come out of this game with 5 interceptions. Again, you know who's going to win that ball game. Miami does what they have to do to get to that game that everybody can't wait to see, which is that Miami-Colorado game. And then you got Colorado playing Tennessee in the All-State Sugar Bowl. And this game started off a 7-9 first quarter. Then we went up 28-7. And then in the second quarter, it was like, don't lose the game, right? Tennessee scored 7 points in the second half. We scored 14, game 42-14. The storyline of the game, though, came from right here, Caden Salter. Now, as a passer, he only had a 5-yard pass, a little jet sweep for a touchdown. Marshall Manning doing Marshall Manning thing. He was 298. Didn't play as much in this game as we would like him to play, but he had a touchdown. He was sacked once. Yeah, 81 completion percentage, 18 for 22 for almost 300 yards, 1 touchdown, well under his average as well. But again, when you talk about Caden Salter, he came in and kicked in 4 carries for 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. He broke this game open, scored the first 2 touchdowns for Colorado, and they were big time runs from the quarterback position. But the run game kind of was held under wraps. 4.2 yards from Redman, Deshaun Reddoe from out of California. You know who he is if you know who he is. Real life player. And then the Kaylon Teller, the true freshman, 3.7 yards in this ball game. Marshall Manning had 3.6, and Welch came in and gave us a touchdown on the ground as well. But the storyline was Katie Salter, right? Like he went crazy running the ball today. He also fumbled in a crucial moment on the goal line. He was running in and got hit very hard. Let that thing go. Tennessee jumped on it, touchback. We in the ball game right now. But again, Sadler had 6 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. Sincere Brown was on the other side saying, you can't cover my man because you got to deal with me. He didn't score in this game, but he had 6 for 103. Darian Morgan, a 5-star elite receiver out of Alabama. This man caught 1 catch, 68 yards, went yard on the ass, right? And the tight end, De Souza, 3 catches for 26 yards. Again, defensively was the story of this game. Taufik Bayard had 9 tackles, 88 and out to Jake. Had 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. He only had a half a sack, but he was in the backfield all game long, right? Anthony Davis Jr., right? If he's from out of Georgia, one of the best linebackers in Georgia. He's actually teammates with Xavier Griffin. Is it Xavier Griffin? No, it ain't Xavier Griffin. Listen, Bradshaw had 2 picks in this game. Tennessee quarterback Dikey Vick ain't throw no picks into the second half of this game where he had to go on all throw mode. But that victory leads us to the game of the year, Miami, Colorado. Oklahoma and Oregon is a rematch of the national championship last year. That's going to be like both these games, right? The Final Four is really big games right here because we do think. I mean, Oregon is the team that you got to beat, right? They won 4 straight national titles, but if there's a team that can get them is Oklahoma. We do think Oklahoma and John Mateer can get to it, right? The transfer cornerback from Washington State. I think if he can play good enough football and they can stop the run, then I think Oklahoma would be in a good situation. Miami, Colorado is so much on the line in this game, right? Both teams trying to get to the Natty. Simple as that. Both teams want to get to the Natty with their quarterbacks that's in their senior season. Both teams' quarterbacks came in the same class. Both of them been battling for the all-time college passing record right now. Hoodies and Goggles holding on to that with Marshall Manning behind him by like 100-something yards. They balling right now. They going at it right now. But I'm going to tell you like this. Stats and records don't matter. This ball game is all about the win. Well, who's going to do what? Who's going to be comfortable doing what? You got a defense that's sending it, right? Like they got an all-out blitzing defense that will put pressure on you at all times when it comes down to the University of Miami. And we have a quarterback that we think is very special that really can read the field, understand coverages, understand blitz assignments, how to pick up things, all that. Can he do a good job and have a good job passing the ball? Or can Miami shut down Colorado's run game and vice versa? Can Colorado stop the deep ball and keep Hoodies and Goggles making decisions all game long, going to a second and third read and not being able to get to his first right away? And can they stop Tanley in that run
16
game?
versus Talib.
Big time. Hoodies and Goggles versus 16. Each playoff, right, we had a game of the week, right? Tennessee, Ohio State was the game of the week. I'm going to say over here it was Miami, Alabama. That was the game of the week. And then now, this is a hard choice. It's not a lot of football. There's only 4 teams remaining. So both of these games can be games of the week, right? We're going to watch both of these games for different reasons, right? We want to see if Oklahoma can stop the drive for 5, right? Each team Oregon beat in their playoffs loses the opportunity to stop them from winning their 5th straight title. Simple as that. Can Oklahoma's up next now? Can they get it done? Simple as that, right? Like it's real simple. Can they get it done? Do they got the firepower and the play calling and the chess piece to be able to win that matchup? And in Miami, Colorado, I think it's an all-out war, right? Both these coaches are really good friends. Both of them definitely support each other team-wise. But now they gotta go see each other. They're gonna meet at the 50, right? Like pregame gonna be everything. You're gonna see these two coaches in front of their teams talking their shit, but then when they're on the field, you're gonna see them have compassion for each other, and both of them want to beat each other in the worst way. The teams, right? You start with the quarterback play. Both these quarterbacks have been judged their entire career together, right? The biggest judgment of this season is going to be who wins this ball game. They got a healthy football team. Both of them got guys on all over the field right now. Both of them got matchups they like. Both of them got matchups they worrying about. And both of them know they're going to have to get their chess piece on for sure, right? And it's going to start in the trenches. Whose offensive line, defensive line is going to come to play in this ball game? That's what the game comes down to. And then it's which one of these All-American quarterbacks is going to do All-American shit. You got Jaquez Sandland and Tavon Thru at the outside receivers with Evan Lake in the slot. But then you got Sincere Brown and Corey Sadler Jr., and then you got Shadarian Morgan you got to worry about in the slot. Like, it's going to be football. Deshaun Raydo, Redman at the number 1 running back, and then you got the speed gear changer, right? The guy that can shift the game in a heartbeat because he can score from anywhere on the field once you put the ball in his hand. They Kaylon Teller. How about Travis Hunter's little brother Travis as a return man, right? Tavon Troop is the best return man in the country. And Travis Hunter is a freshman coming up right now. Travis' little brother, Little Trap 2, is coming up as a returner right now. Can somebody break something open on the special teams? Like, there's a lot of questions that's going to be asked in this ball game right now, right? But what we do know is the winners of these 2 matchups will be playing in the national title game in Locust Oil Stadium, Indianapolis. So you get to see this game, Miami versus Colorado. You'll better see that on the Booker Manning. Tune into Man Franchise Junkie channel. That game will be kicked off in a few hours. Not even a few hours, like very soon, right? We're looking somewhere between like 6:30 and 7. That game will be kicked off and up and running in the Oregon and Oklahoma plays tomorrow. With that being said, man, this is Ant Hits, man. Hit piece. We're down.